Hey guys, welcome to YuGiBOOM, and today, Paleo frogs. YuGiBOOM! So today I wanted to showcase my Paleozoic deck profile. Of course, nothing's you can't play Paleozoic without frogs because they just kind of go in tandem together with the all aqua art or type deck. You got access to Toad and like Obapina and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. So with this deck, it's a little more budget friendly. There, obviously in a Paleozoic deck, you want to run Trap Trick. That card is really good for this deck. But I don't have that card, so there's other cards you can run, and things to like get more draw power and like just stun and just don't let your opponent play, and that way you can get your plays off. So for the monsters, it's pretty low monster count. I think it's only 9 monsters in this deck. We played 3 Swap Frog because he is probably the best frog in the deck. You can special summon him if you have like another monster in your hand or a water monster in your hand. You pitch it, you summon it, you send a frog or another aqua type monster to the graveyard. Usually you want to send Ronin Totem. That's usually the play you want to do. But other than that, Swap Frog is really good because he just starts off your play, especially because you get a free special summon. And for the next one, we played 3 Dupe Frog. He's really good, especially if you use Totally Awesome to summon him, because that way you can have him on the field. And just to get that extra, instead of sending the Toad to negate something, you can at least send the Dupe Frog, so you can keep Toad out there. Because usually your opponent wants to get rid of the Toad as fast as possible, because Toad is a really broken negation, especially because you take a card from your opponent that they can't use. And then next we play 2 Ronin Totem. You could play 3, but since you only play the 6 frogs, I think 2's okay. You could if you want to, if somehow you're able to, maybe if you add like a Treeborn or some other frog kind of monsters, you could add another Ronin Totem. But I think 2's perfectly fine, because usually you don't want to see it in your hand. You want to either dump it with the Foolish or the Swap, or just somehow get it in the graveyard a different way. And then for the 1 non-frog monster, 1 Spellbook, Magician of Prophecy. He's just good because you could summon him, get a Secrets, get a Knowledge. You can get rid of him, draw 2 cards more. So that's why he's good. And also you could use him to exceed because he's a level 2, just like everything else. But that's why he's pretty good. And now for spells, we don't run too many spells in the deck, but we run a couple of good power spells. Now that I have access to 3 card Demise. Before I used to have the bamboo cards in this deck, like the Cursed Bamboo and the Golden Bamboo, to supplement the draw power, because I didn't have card Demise because it's a little expensive for me. But now that you got the reprint of the dual power and things like that, and just trading with friends and people, now I have all 3. So I always want your card Demise just to put in this deck specifically, because I think it works the best in this deck. Besides obviously maybe like a True Draco deck. But yeah, card Demise is so good because you just you can set everything, and then you just draw 3 more, and then maybe get more traps and things like that, and just that way you have a full back row. And then to the next card. So for the spell books, play 2 Secrets, 2 Knowledge. Secrets has the Knowledge, and then all the shenanigans. Just all this extra draw power is good because, like I say, you want to dig through your deck, try to get your Paleo traps, and things like that. So yeah, it's just weird how the spellbook Magician of Prophecy works so well with the frogs and the Paleo deck in general. I think it's still pretty good, even though some people may not play it. And then for 1-ofs, just Foolish and a Dark Hole. Foolish just send the Ronin Totem. Just get it out of the deck as soon as possible. And Dark Hole just in case you need to wipe the board. Usually you don't have a monster on the field, or a monster on the field, so usually Dark Hole is pretty good. But once you start getting your traps, going, and you start chaining with the Paleo traps from the grave, you'll start getting monsters out. So it's pretty good. Now into the traps. There's a lot of traps in this deck. It's going to be 3 Olenitis. This one pops a spell and trap. So he's really good. It can be any spell and trap. So sometimes you could maybe somehow you need to manipulate something. Maybe you can get another Paleo trap in the graveyard by just popping it as well. So he's really good. And then his effect, once per chain, you can summon him from the grave to activate a trap. And yeah, nothing else much to say. So just easy back row removal of his effect. And then 3 Morella. This card's pretty good. It is really good because you can start sending your traps to the graveyard That way you can try to chain them if you got other traps and stuff like that. So he's really good, or it's really good. And then probably one of my favorite Paleos is the Dinomischus, only because you get to banish cards. Who doesn't like banishing cards, you know? So yeah, that effect's really good, and then second effect to summon from the grave is pretty busted. And then for the last Paleo, we run at 3 Canadia. You can flip some face down. Why not? Especially if they want a link, or that way they can target something. Canadia is good. Yeah, kind of disruptor of plays. And then just the one Leoncolia, I think I pronounced that. You could probably run more of this, because sometimes, if you do have to link away your special summon Paleos from the grave, they get banished when they leave the field. So, this is good because you can put them back. You could run more of this if you like, because there's some other cards I run in the deck that you could maybe take out. But at the moment, I think one works okay, because sometimes you just need that. You just need to put one, and you just want to activate this just so you could start chaining all your other Paleos in the grave. And then for more draw cards, why not triple Reckless Greed? Since you do search a lot, or not search a lot, but you draw a lot in this deck with card demise and knowledge and all that stuff, Reckless Greed is pretty good. Just draw 2. And that's how you could search, especially once you get the Obapina out. You can start searching your Paleo traps, and then that way you could start just using them from your hand if need be. Maybe sometimes you have too much back row. You kind of have that one spot open, you can at least use it from your hand. So that's why it's really good. As you just keep drawing. And then for battle traps, sometimes with trap heavy decks, you run a lot of cards that you want to use to negate your opponent's stuff. But sometimes if maybe you want to save it, or maybe you run out of those, or you don't have those cards yet, I still like running Storm Mirror Force, only because now with the links, I wish Quaking was still good, but with links you can't flip them down. So Storming is probably good, because even if you have a monster out, that way you can at least still activate it, because you can run Drowning Mirror Force if you like, because it sends them back into the deck. But it has to be a direct attack, and sometimes if let's say you have a Toad out or something like that, you kind of want to keep it on the field as much as possible, because he's really good. And or Obapina, and that's why I like Storm Mirror Force, because it returns it to the hand at least. And it doesn't have to be a direct attack either. And then for some other negates, Lost Wind, kind of like 4 negates, because you can always bring it back from your graveyard, and it cuts the attack in half, which can be pretty good. So that's why I just run 2. You already have a lot of other stuff. And then for some other cards, we run with 2 Waboku, because you want to have your monsters out, especially if let's say you summon all your Paleo traps from the graveyard, and if your opponent wants to attack them all, you at least have Waboku. That way they stay on the field, and that way you can start linking, or start XCing and stuff like that. So you want to keep it on the field as much as possible. So 2 Wabokus, and also just you could activate the Waboku, and you can start chaining other Paleo traps as well, so you can get them out, and you still take no battle damage. Then just one of something I used to have more of, but I kind of been cutting it down a little bit. So just one to run Retribute. Like I said, just to chain it, or just to activate it. And yeah, just to get rid of your opponent's board if they start doing too much. You have this, you just destroy all their stuff. So yeah, Torrent Retribute's still in there, but it's a card you could cut out if you like. And for the rest, we just have 3 Solemn Strikes and a Warning, because you don't want your opponent to play Yu-Gi-Oh sometimes. But yeah, that's self-explanatory. Okay, so that's it for the main deck. Now we're going into the extra deck. Obviously in this deck, I have 2 Totally Awesome. You could run 3 if you like, because you could get access to his, or you can summon it whenever you like, I would like to say, or whenever you can, because everything's Aqua and level 2. So you could run 3 if you like, if you really want to oppress your opponent. But I think 2 is fine, because sometimes you want to summon your Obapina, or you want access to your Obapina, or if you want links, you gotta make space for those. Because not in any deck, you can't just run Exceeds or just Synchros, you gotta use links. But Totally Awesome is still a really good card. And then for the Paleozoic monsters, we have one, I'm not even going to try to say his name, but 3 level 2 guy, that whatever his name is. He's really good, but I only run one just because he needs 3 or more. And I mean, sometimes you do have like maybe you can get 4 or 5 Paleos out if you're able to, but you just want one because usually you want to use the other materials for Obapina because that one searches out Paleozoic traps from your deck. So that's why it's just one of him. And then, like I kept talking about Obapina, I run 3 of him because he's just so good. He's unaffected by monster effects. Like I said, you can search out your Paleos, your Paleozoic cards from your deck, and then you can use them from your hand, which is pretty good, I think. So yeah, I mean, 3 Obapina, kind of self-explanatory. And then now for like other generic, somewhat generic Xyzs, 1 Utopic Future, 1 Sky Cavalry Centuria, I think, and then 1 number 45 Chroma Logos. Utopic Future, maybe is there like if you have like maybe Obapinas out without any like materials on them, you could overlay those into this, and he's pretty good because you could just take a monster and you can like link it away or something like that. Or at least get rid of a monster from their opponent. My bad. But yeah, so he's really good. I think he's still a really good card. Centuria, just in case you need to get over a big monster, he's good. And then Crumble Logos. I did have the Phantom Knights, the Chris Javelin in this deck, but I was thinking like I'd rather have the Crumble Logos because Crumble Logos can negate any face-up card in the field, while the Chris Javelin can only negate a monster effect. And he's stronger too, so that's why I have him in this deck instead. And now for links, since everything is water in the deck, we have 2 Miss Starboy, just to give Totally Awesome or Obapina a little bit more boost. Why not, right? So 2 Miss Starboy, 2 Miss Starboy. And then for generic links, we have 1 Proxy, 1 Phoenix, 1 Cerberus. Sometimes you can get a lot of like monsters out, like the Paleo traps. You can start like with like if you have Miss Starboy, you can then summon Cerberus, Phoenix. If you want to get rid of stuff, I would say they're just there just in case you need it. And Proxy is like just to get extra monster zones open, because sometimes you have Miss Starboy out, you might have something, and then if you're somehow able to summon like maybe 2 more Exceeds or something, you could do Proxy Dragon. That way you just open up extra zones. So that's why he's in there. And just in case, also if you need to like link climb a little bit in this deck. So those are for the generics, and then for the only 1 link 4 I run is Borreload. It's just Borreload is just great. You could obviously switch this out for Volsword. I don't have one, so that's why I run Borreload. But Borreload is just a really, like I said, oppressive card and just hard to get around. So that's why I think in this deck, since it's more of a control-based deck, I think Borreload fits more than like a Sarjuju or something like that. But yeah, that is the deck profile, you guys. Let me know what you think of it. Comment down below what are some spicy techs you play in the deck. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you follow us on our social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And thanks for watching, and you have a good day.